big time success is achievable. Like this isn't just like a little sales gig. This is an opportunity to create something massive, something that can create legacy. One of the things that super attracted her to it was the opportunity for us to work together as a couple, because that's something she saw at the different insurance conferences. She saw couples that were achieving massive success in the industry. So she saw that, was super attracted to that. She's like, so not only is this something that I can work with Tony on and develop a tighter relationship that we can both go towards something, but I can use this as a vehicle to affect change for my family in Colombia.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Medicare Sales Playbook. I am your host, Dallas Keithley, and we are here with another great episode, ready to give you some information that can impact your business, that you can apply, and you can go and make a difference. Today, I am extremely excited. We have two of my favorite people on the planet, Tony and Grace Merwin with Avila Medicare Solutions.
Howdy.
So, welcome to the show.
Man, thanks for having us on. We are super excited to be here and honored.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, ma'am. When we started thinking about putting together a podcast, you guys were on the top of the list.
Huh.
And there were other people I had to put up there out of duty, but you guys were out of pleasure and just awesomeness. So.
Well, thank you. We feel the same about you. Obviously, you and I have known each other for a few years now, quite a few years, and we've had chances to be on video. Shit, we've been on tour together.
Yeah.
So I feel the same about you, and I'm super happy to be here. So thank you again.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And we're just going to leave that tour out there for the people to wonder, right? Like,
absolutely.
Was it an
they're on tour together?
Cover band? What are we doing? You know,
it was open mic night. We did an open mic tour.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to have fun, go along the boardwalk in Los Angeles and allow Tony to just introduce you to strangers. You never know what's coming. So
I forgot about her. That's hysterical. Oh my goodness, the gypsy dancer that we ran into, and that was right out. No, it wasn't Ventura Beach. It was right off of Venice Beach area. Mm-hmm. Goodness.
Yeah, I wonder how she's doing.
Based on her demeanor, I would assume she's probably doing great.
But here's the thing. Miss Grace is all kind and sweet up there, but I got introduced to the real Miss Grace on that little walk, and that was a good time, right?
Searching for tacos after being trapped in a van for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, however long it was.
See, I don't even remember that part.
Yeah. You blocked that out. You had 3 hungry women in that van trapped with us. The guy decided to take the 405, which was a parking lot. Absolutely. Goodness gracious.
Good time. Well, let's jump into Medicare. So, Tony, I want to start with you. You were working as a rep, a company rep, and going around introducing your company to different agents and stuff like that, doing great, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you decided to get into Medicare.
Well, that's not quite exactly it. I've been in Medicare for 20 years. So I've been working in wholesale for the last 13 years before I came on full time with my wife. So yeah, while I was with Precision Senior Marketing doing wholesale, I was doing very well. I had a great reputation in the industry, had a lot of cachet. I was one of the top wholesalers in the business easily. If you look at the metrics on it, and I was very comfortable and very happy with where I was. I felt like I had dominated my career and was at the peak of my game. And yeah, and then basically now here I am running my own deal. So It's been a big shift.
And so there had to be something big that would get you to leave the comfort of something that you were doing very well at, very comfortable in. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Grace, right? Grace, talk about your introduction into Medicare. Why did you get into Medicare? Because that's what got Tony back into the sales side of it.
Well, after 18 years working as a teacher, uh, COVID started and I didn't have a job. Of course, for my last 3 years teaching, that was a hard time for me because uh, I enjoyed working as a teacher. I enjoyed what I was doing, but my heart was asking me to do something else, not to work with somebody else, but I wanted something to, like a business, my own business, but I didn't know what to do, what to start, have no idea. And I was invited, Tony invited me to, in 2019, he invited me to insurance conference that was actually 8% in 2019. In just being there, and I saw the energy, the how wonderful it was, right? This business that I said, oh my goodness, that's, I don't know, but I just, in my heart, I felt that that was the opportunity that I was looking for. So I promised to myself, I didn't say not even to Tony, but I promised to myself, I'm coming back to this event next year with my license. And I did.
Nice.
That's how I started in this insurance
I
business.
love it. But I want to break down just a little bit more because I'm a big believer in why. There are people that get in this business for the money, then they make some money, and they find out that that's not a big enough goal. That's not a big enough
Mm-hmm.
reason to be in the business. You have an amazing why. Talk to me about why you sell Medicare and what you do with the benefits that you receive from Medicare.
Well, I love the fact that I'm helping seniors, Hispanic seniors, uh, with this complicated process. So I'm just taking my teaching experience in this new space that I have now. But what it motivates me the most is the opportunity that I have to help my family. I come from a very poor family in Colombia, so I just wanted to break that poverty cycle in my family. So my biggest why is to be able to provide work opportunities for them so they can have a better lifestyle.
That is amazing. And that's what I really wanted to get at because, guys, if you, like I said, if you do not have a why like that, you will burn out. And when you see your why, you see something that not only encouraged you to work hard, Tony saw that. And when somebody else believes in your why, man, it's contagious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Tony, talk about like you saw that, you saw her passion, and you're like, I'm in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when she first came to the idea to me, where I was like, "Hey, I want to get into insurance," and I had never once tried to recruit her. Right? I had never once was like, "Hey, you should get into insurance with me because it's great." Never did once. The only time I ever even introduced her insurance was when I took her to 8% Nation for the first time, which she just mentioned back in 2019. When COVID hit in Austin, where we live, it was very strict. Like it was super locked down. You weren't allowed to go anywhere except basically the grocery store or any kind of an emergency. So her school that she worked at, she's been a private teacher. That's her entire career. She's got 2 degrees in teaching and child development. That's been her profession for decades, basically. The school shut down. She loses all her income. All of her friends lose all their income. She sees on the news there's 25 million people out of work. But because we're on lockdown, she's trapped in a room with me selling Medicare all day. So she's like, she puts the math together. She's like, wait a second, all this is going on. All these people are out of work, but Tony and all his little insurance buddies, they're all still working and making money. As a matter of fact, not only are they working and making money, but Tony's busier than I've ever seen him be busy. He looks like he's thriving right now. How is that possible when everybody else is not? So it didn't take her too long to realize, hey, I want to have that opportunity as well. I want some stability. So she said, hey, I want to get my insurance license. I said, okay, fine. As we started to talk about it, I wasn't really sure what she had in mind. Was this just something to help replace her teaching income? right? So she could have something to do on her own, have some freedom to kind of work for herself, and basically, quote unquote, kind of a side hustle, right? Something I can do to make some money and be sustainable, right? And be productive. Because if Grace is anything, she is definitely one of those people that likes being productive. She doesn't like complacency at all. So I wasn't really sure. So while we're trapped in a room during COVID, every day during our quote unquote lunch break, we would go for a walk around the neighborhood, get some exercise. And I started asking her kind of like, number one, why do you want to get insurance? What are you trying to accomplish? And how do you want to go about it? And I didn't care either way. I just said, hey, I'm happy to support you. And you're fortunate because I have 20 years experience I can lend you that will help kind of point you in the right direction from a knowledge base and training base. But I said, you tell me, like, is this just something to make some purse money? Is this something that you want to grow? And she has an interesting mindset because she had only ever been introduced to insurance at a very high success level, right? She had never, I don't hang out with non-producers. I hang out with people like Cody Askins, Justin Brock, John Wetmore, Dallas Keithley. So she had only ever seen high level success when it came to the insurance world. So a little bit of a skewed viewpoint because I don't think she was that naive to think, oh, wow, you just go get a license and all of a sudden you're a millionaire. I don't think she thought it was that easy, but she had a skewed viewpoint. But she had been exposed to how big the opportunity was. So as we started to do the discovery, she's like, no, I don't just want this to be a side hustle. I don't just want to make some purse money so that I have something and feel productive. She's like, it looks like this is something that I can get into and affect change for my family.
Wow.
Okay. That's interesting.
I want to camp there real quick.
Yeah.
Because something you just said is crazy important. When you start looking at how you are going to organize your business, how important is it? You're never going to go higher than anybody that you look up to.
Correct.
So when she saw the Medicare world making 150 grand, 250, whatever, that was normal.
Right. To her, it was like, oh, I guess you just go get a license and you're rich.
Yeah. That's
like, well, there's a little more work involved. But she understand that. And like I said, she wasn't that naive to think it's that easy, but she saw that like, wow, big time success is achievable. Like this isn't just like a little sales gig. This is an opportunity to create something massive, something that can create legacy, right? And she didn't say this, but I know that because she's mentioned this before, one of the things that super attracted her to it was the opportunity for us to work together as a couple, because that's something she saw at the different insurance conferences. She saw couples that were achieving massive success in the industry, whether they both work together in the same agency and business, or maybe they're indirectly involved, right? Like, for example, Lauren and Cody, right? Yeah. Cody's big time in the insurance space and Laura's kind of peripheral to it, but they work together and support their vehicle. Does that make sense? So she saw that, was super attracted to that. She's like, so not only is this something that I can work with Tony on and develop a tighter relationship that we can both go towards something, but I can use this as a vehicle to affect change for my family in Colombia.
Nice. Ms. Grace, I do want to ask you on that. And I don't want this to come off as a joke or anything. Like, we would joke about how we work with each other and stuff like that. But is it hard to work with your spouse all the time? Are there times, and what do you do when you need to get away, need a break? How do you do that?
Well, it can be hard sometimes, but we understand each other's roles and we just perform on our task every day. And well, I have my own space, he has his own space, and we respect that space in between us. But it can be hard, but everything is just to talk about it and just keep going. Just have your goal in your mind and your head and your heart, and just keep working.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just to add on to that, she's absolutely right. And it's twofold thing. It's one, do you have a unified goal as a couple? If you do, then that's the driving force that allows you to get through whatever turmoil that you might have. The second rule is whatever happens at home that affects our relationship doesn't get brought into the office. This is a safe space where we're professionals and we work. We can go home and yell at each other if we have issues, but it doesn't come in here. We both have an agreement on that. We both abide by it very well. And then, but more importantly, we have a unified purpose and we know exactly what it is. So that makes it really easy to get through the turmoil, is when you know that, hey, this is just rocky roads. The destination's still in front of us.
That's awesome. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about some stuff that maybe some agents can apply.
Sure.
Right? Miss Grace, you had a phenomenal first year. Talk about, how have you done in their first year? Maybe even some numbers. What have you done this first year?
Well, numbers, Tony is better about talking about numbers. But it's been awesome. Year after year, we've been growing, and that's a teamwork, right? Tony's in charge of the marketing and bringing me leads, but I've been growing as a salesperson, how to present Medicare, how to educate people, and just doing my thing, thinking out of the box, exposing myself, doing videos, making videos every day, educating about Medicare. And that has been something that has helped us a lot. Like, people see us everywhere. So that's been amazing.
That's beautiful. And do you think it was helpful being an educator before?
Yes.
Just take that and run with it, right?
Yes. And it has helped me because I really enjoyed it. That was what I did for close to 20 years, but it's definitely, I'm doing the same, but to a different group of people.
Nice. Okay. Tony, talk about that group of people. You guys are very specific about who you market to, and you market on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about how you guys are marketing and a little bit about your strategy. Give me that secret sauce.
Yeah, I don't know that there's too much secret sauce. I think it's more just execution. And we didn't come up with any of the ideas really on our own. We talked to people that were experts in marketing that could help kind of point us in the right path. And along that way, we took what worked for us and discarded what was useless, right? Until we molded what now is absolutely just killing it from a marketing standpoint. But we also knew right out the gate that we had to accomplish two things, especially if you're new, right? You need leads now because I got to make money now, but I also need to learn to, and this goes back to what we wanted to build. We knew we wanted to build a massive brand. So we knew right out of the gate, we have to start branding immediately, because at one point we want our branding and our organic reputation and image to take over the lead purchase mechanism. We don't want to always be stuck on a lead wheel. We want eventually to have a brand that now people are attracted to. So we knew that from day one. So we implemented both strategies immediately. We immediately started to put out YouTube channel content, crazy. We came up with a simple system. So if you want something applicable for agents, I'll give you a super great tip on how you can explode content out. Very easy thing.
Get your pens and paper out, boys and girls.
If you have a Facebook business page, first of all, let me rephrase that. You should have a Facebook business page. If you don't, you're already missing the boat. It's free to create. Get your Facebook business page up and running. Record a live video on your Facebook business page coaching people about Medicare or whatever product that is you sell. It doesn't have to be Medicare. Final expense annuities, I don't care. But do live trainings about your world that you serve in on your Facebook page. Now, that's not going to get you any traffic because Facebook won't really push organic business page traffic and let you put money behind it. But what it does do is it gives you video content for your business page. Next thing you do is you download that video, because Facebook can let you just download it right off of your Facebook page, upload it to your YouTube channel. Now you have it in two places. That's two pieces, same piece of content, but it's repurposed twice, right? Take the YouTube video, dump it into a system called video.ai, VIDYO.ai. That will automatically take your long form video and chop it into short form videos that you can push out to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels. You still only made one video, but now we're already looking at multiple pieces of content. Take your long form video, give it to shoot, I can't think of what it's called now. I have to look it back up. There's a couple of them, transcripting services, apps. They're super cheap. You upload your video, it will transcribe it into text. Now you have your written blog for your website or your Facebook blog page. Take that, embed your video, re-push it back out as a blog to your email list. I think I'm up to probably about 15 to 20 pieces of content out of one video. And if you really want to go a step further, take your best blog that comes out of all of that, submit it to a newspaper or a professional article or any kind of place as an editorial about your services.
Wow. From one video.
From one video. So that's what she does. So she spends, 20 minutes preparing, creating whatever video she wants to create, blah, blah, blah. Takes her about 8 to 10 minutes to make the video. And then from there, we have an assistant that does the rest. And he takes that video and explodes it into a bunch of content for us. So that was a strategy we implemented right up front. In the meantime, we bought leads until that strategy. And we're not buying leads, but we have a marketing system on Facebook that is generating leads for us. And that's our immediate flow. And then we're constantly putting out content to keep the brand going. I was actually just looking at our YouTube channel today. We're close to getting monetized already. Like we're right on the cusp. And it grows like crazy. And we push it hard. Like every time we talk to a client or a new prospect, I should say, we send them our YouTube channel as part of our edification. And Grace is now seeing that because we have so much content out there, that people are using that content to become familiar with Grace, familiar with the Avila brand. So we're cutting out all of the upfront effort of having to know, like, and trust you. And that's the biggest hurdle that agent always has to get across is you have to get them to know, like, and trust you, right? Even if you're selling 0 premium Medicare Advantage plans and you final expense agents are harassing you because you're not really in sales, bullcrap, you're still having to sell yourself of know, like, and trust. So all of the social media content now does that. By the time they get on the phone with Grace, they're like, oh my God, it's really you? I'm really talking to you? You're a celebrity. It's so easy to close that business. You just got to get them. You just got to get them on the phone now.
Well, and you said something to me the other day that's very important. You said you guys knew who you wanted to be.
Yep.
And you acted like you're already there.
Yep.
Talk about that, like having the vision and saying, look, I may not have written one policy, but nobody that ever sees my content is going to know that.
Correct.
They're going to think this guy, I can't believe they have time for me.
Correct. So we knew exactly what we wanted from day one. And this came back to me having conversations with her during COVID as we're doing laps around the neighborhood on our little lunch break so we could actually get out of the house for a little while. Just ask her, like, what do you want? And she's like, I want to do something big. So we're like, okay, we want to do something big. What do we want? Well, we want that we ultimately want the goal is that if you're Hispanic and you think Medicare, you think Avila. Like that's the presence that we wanted. So we're like, okay, well, we certainly don't have that right now, but let's pretend we do and just behave as such. Let's just pretend everybody on the planet already knows who we are, period, right? I've got 18 years of experience in the industry. We can put that on our bio or whatever, right, that we have combined experience in educating and teaching and Medicare, et cetera. So we already have the stature. We set up a corporation immediately from day one because we knew where we were going. We weren't starting as an independent agent. Maybe one day we'll become a corporation and agency. No, we knew day one, we're going to start an agency. We're going to build something big. And then it just kind of kept whittling down till we got the brand name Avila. And we picked that name for a variety of reasons. One, it's obviously Hispanic sounding, right? So it identifies with our target market because that is our target market is the Hispanic T65 that's out there. It starts with the letter A. So if we happen to fall in a list, it's at the top. It rolls off the tongue kind of cool, Avila, whichever accent you use. It just sounds kind of good. Sounds familiar. You've heard it before. Like, I don't know where I've heard it, but I've heard Avila. They must be huge. And then it's her maiden name. So it gives her, right, some ownership in it from a personal perspective. That's what I want to know.
Where did it originate? I like it.
And then now we have 3 of her family members working with us. So it is truly a family business. We now have 4 virtual assistants in Colombia that are working with us and have a better opportunity than they would normally have. One of them is a part-timer that helps us with web development. One of them does customer service on the back end to help us with retention. One of them does prospecting to help us on the front end. And the other one runs all the social media for us. And they make more money than they would ever make otherwise.
The reason we started Medicare Sales Playbook is we wanted to affect people.
Yes.
You're affecting people on another continent.
Correct.
You're not just saying, here, I'm working hard and I'm going to give you some money. You are saying, I saw an opportunity. I took advantage of the opportunity. Now I want to give you an opportunity. And that is what it's all about, boys and girls. That's awesome.
Yeah. We wanted to design our business from an effort to serve others. Like, if you're going to be a good insurance agent, particularly in the Medicare space, you really do need to have a servant mindset and a service mentality, right?
Yeah.
And your clientele kind of dictates that a big portion in the Medicare world, right? Because it's not a pump and dump sale. At least it certainly shouldn't be, right? It's not like going to impulse someone that, hey, you need life insurance. Let's go. Let's get it done today. Come on. Right? It's different. It's like, hey, look, this is a big, complicated, especially when you're with T65s, because you got to coach them through the whole damn thing. They don't know anything about Medicare. They don't know. They're clueless. It's some kind of entitlement program I get. I don't know. It's government driven. Isn't it free? Doesn't it just cover everything? Like, they don't know what they're up against. So you have to take that very consultative, educational approach to them. It's not just a sales thing. So, and that was music to my ears when she told me she wanted to do something in Medicare and do it big, because I already knew, it's like, she's going to kill it. I knew she would kill it because I knew she was already a teacher by trade. So she already had that educative, consultative personality. I knew she had an absolute love and passion for the elderly, because every party that we ever went to, wedding party, birthday party, didn't matter what it was. If you find the oldest person in the room, they're left by themselves. Nobody wants to hang out with them. But Grace was always sitting with them. Grace was every single time I would find the oldest. And where's my wife? Where's my wife? Just find the oldest person in the room. Grace is sitting next to them, keeping them pumping.
Wait a second. Every time she always ended up with me.
Yes. So. Every time she was sitting next to you, talking to you. So I'm like, okay, so she has an affinity for the elderly. She's a great teacher already, and she's obviously extremely charismatic and well-spoken. So I was like, man, this is going to be great. Like, just put her in front of a room full of people at a seminar, and she's going to kill it. And we did that. That was a big part of our launch, was doing seminars. We're not doing as many of them now because our Facebook lead funnel's killing it. We definitely have plans to get back and do some seminars this year. We've actually already got some mapped out. But that was a big part of our first strategy.
Yeah, that's incredible. So I'm going to play new agent that the whole world's against me, right? And it's not fair. So I'm going to come at you with this excuse. It's not fair, right? Grace had Tony. That's why she's successful. She's got a marketer in the business that tells her what to do. Grace, what do you were going to be successful no matter what.
It was cut a little bit, so I didn't hear your question.
That's okay. So here's what I'm asking. A lot of agents are going to say, Grace had Tony. That's why she was successful, right? If I had a Tony, I would be successful, or even the vice versa, right? Tony had Grace. So that's why he's successful. What do you say to agents like that?
To new agents?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say that's true, because I wouldn't be here where I am right now without Tony, right? But it's a team work, right? But everything's possible. Just do your homework and hang out with people that are in the business, that know the business, right? Go to events. That's what I always say. Events are powerful. You can connect with so many people and talk to people. And my advice is going to events. Just don't stay in your corner. Just go and talk to those people that you see on stage or people around. But the opportunity is big. So just don't have excuses and find a way to get better and grow your business.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind adding on to that. If you're a new agent out there and you're looking at, say, Grace or some other person that's similar, and you say, oh, they're lucky because they had Tony, or they had their father, or they had this other person that had already was established in the business, so that's why they're successful. You're full of crap. I'm just going to say it flat. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because you have the exact same opportunity. Just because you're not married to that person, or just because you're not the son of that person, or the wife or the husband or the cousin or the brother's uncle, whatever, doesn't matter. Those people exist. Just go attach yourself to one of them. There are tons of good mentors in this business all over the place. I hang out with a room full of them, usually when I go places. So you're making an excuse that you're too lazy to go find the right mentor is really what you're saying. That's going to suit you. Did Grace get a leg up? Yes, she had a leg up because she was attached to a great mentor. Attach yourself to a great mentor and you will have the same leg up. So, but that doesn't mean that Grace was just successful because she was married to me and I'm a great mentor. She still had to execute. All I did was point. All I did was say, these are the kind of words you want to say. These are how the products work. And those are the phone numbers. Good luck. She still had to drive the car. I just told her where the destination was, and I gave her the roadmap. But here, you got to get in the car and drive. And she does. She executes. She was, and I'll say this, and I want to brag about my wife for a second, because I was actually shocked to find this out myself, because I was a little nervous about it at first. And I'm super proud to say that she was extremely coachable. And I think that might be a fear that a lot of guys have, or wives have, when they go into business with their spouse. They're like, and one of them is the established person in that industry, and now they go into business together. Is the other half going to be coachable and let their attitude down and understand? 100% from day one. Did we have a couple of beefs where I'm like, you really need to not say it like that, and kind of get on her? And she's like, yeah, occasionally, but most of the time she listened to me. Tony's the expert. Tony knows what he's saying. Trust, follow my coach. But she ultimately had to execute on it. And she put in the work ethic that drove all the revenue.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I want to finish with this. Grace, what does your family in Colombia think about it now? Like, how do they show their appreciation, and do they realize the opportunity that is there yet, the full opportunity?
Yes, they are so thankful that they are having a better opportunity, right? They are making more than a person can make over there, and they have a better lifestyle now. And they are proud to be part of our company, and of course they want to grow with us and be part of this, because we have big plans to start something bigger over there to help not only family but other people have better opportunities. So they are waiting for that opportunity to grow with us.
Yeah, she has great nephews begging to come work for us. It's like, we just don't have to work for you right now, but hang tight. Maybe go learn some of these skills in the sides if you can, but
Yeah. Tony, Grace, how do we get a hold of you guys?
Easiest way to find either one of us is on Facebook, to be honest with you. I guarantee you she's the only Grace Merwin on Facebook. I'm pretty sure that I'm the only Tony Merwin on Facebook. But she's actually listed as Ingracia, her given Hispanic name or Latin name. But yeah, look up Ingracia Merwin or Tony Merwin, or just look us up at Avila Medicare Solutions. That's probably even easier. Look up Avila Medicare on Facebook. You will find us.
Well, guys, again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your friendship. Like I said, I was excited about this one. You guys are on video. I wore cologne today. So Adam appreciate it. But no, thank you guys very much. We will do this again very soon. I promise.
It's a pleasure to be here, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Gracias.
Yes, ma'am. So I want to thank Adam, our producer. Guys, get out there, get on the phone, do the hard stuff. Successful people are those that are willing to do what unsuccessful people will not do. Have a great day.